Alright, I'll try to get through this video with not much of a voice. I seem to be getting allergies or chest cold or something. But anyway, these are some of the yellow deltas. Tails are a little ragged. As great as they look on this video right now, they were a little bit small. I got my fish back from the Chicago Guppy show, IFGA show. And boy, they did a fantastic job with the fish. Those guys are great. They packed them up better than I packed them to begin with. And got them today, which is Wednesday. And all the fish look great. I entered 3 yellow deltas and 2 of them as a tank entry, which means a match pair. This one's got a split fin, which it was a tail, which was split before I sent it. But they were a little bit too small to compete, and sorry for letting all you people down, but I sent 11 entries and they must have all come in 5th place. Nah, just kidding. They didn't place at all. I didn't get any of them that came in 1st through 4th because there was better fish than what I sent. So I sent 3 double swords. There was 18 entries in that class. So I'm going to assume I came in 5th, 6th, and 7th, which probably isn't true. But anyway, these tank is the 5 entries of the yellow deltas. I'm quarantining them, so there's nothing else in the tank. I quarantine them with a little bit of salt, Melafix, Pond Strength, and Quick Cure. And the reason for the quarantine is because they've been in Chicago's water for about the last 5 days. I shipped the fish on Wednesday. They got there on Friday. They benched them on Saturday. And so they've been in Chicago water since Saturday. And anyway, so that's the yellow deltas. The Japanese blue snakeskins, I don't think they're in a tank that's bright enough that I can show them to you. But anyway, that's enough about the show. Other people did very well. I did very badly, so I let all you people down. And I guess starting tomorrow, I'll change the channel to movie reviews. So, nah, just kidding. Anyway, this video, besides discussing how poorly I did, I wanted to go over something that's a needlessly complicated subject, which is really brought on because of capitalism. And by that, I mean guppy names. I don't mean you should run out and name all your guppies Frank or Joe or anything like that. I mean strain names. So the strains with the IFGA, that tank's not cloudy, it's live baby brine shrimp. You can see the sea monkeys moving. These are the platinum red Mosaic big ears. It's 2 pair. They're growing out. These are from mid-October, late October, so they're just starting to color up now. But back to the one good thing about the IFGA is that they have standards, and that kind of results in the fish being called actually what they are. So a red-bodied male with a delta tail, which is a triangular shaped tail, is called a red delta or a full red, but to them it's really a red delta. Full red is more like a sales type name. It just means that the coloration goes all the way up close to the eye, sometimes including the eye. So the large full tail might not be something that everybody likes. It might not be your cup of rum and coke, but it's an amazing achievement. These guys do it through rigorous culling, really merciless culling, and breeding. Some of them can tell you when their fish were born in every single tank. So, I mean, I keep records, but mine are juvenile compared to what these guys do. So, with the advance, these are some more of the platinum red Mosaic big ears. A couple of big females, and I have some smaller ones in there, waiting for a younger male to develop. And this is another tank of them. But with the advance of Al Gore's internet, We in the USA are being able to see and buy beautiful guppy strains from all over the world. The Asian breeders have come up with some absolutely stunning and beautiful strains of guppies. They're not what you would call an IFGA strain. They're they do their own thing. And the issue really for us is that English isn't their first language, and it may not be their language at all. All they want to do is sell people the beautiful fish they raise, and some of them are raising some absolutely fantastic fish. So these came from a seller in Indonesia. That's the long fin version of the platinum red mosaics Dumbo ears. And so since their understanding of English is not the greatest, or maybe they use Google Translator, their beautiful strain of whatever they're trying to sell might translate out to chicken noodle Dumbo or something like that. So the main names are generally based on the color in the body and the tail. The eye color will take precedence over what the fish is going to be called. Meaning if it's an albino, which is what we call it in the United States, overseas they may call it an rrea, which stands for real red-eye albino. There's also another type of albino. It's called a lutino, and that's like a grape colored eye. So that's some of the stuff on these. I'll move on to some other fish, and these are the half black. I don't know what they are. I sent one of them in as a half black purple, and this time it was DQ'd as saying it was a half black with a blue tail. So these may just end up being an aquabid fish. Beautiful strain, fantastic fins, nice shape, but if I can't nail down what color these are going to be in different water, I'll probably just keep raising them as like a strain I sell on aquabid. But anyhow, I was somewhere with this talk. So the types of albinos for us, they have bright red eyes, pretty much like Edgar Winter, if you remember him, Frankenstein. And if you cross two unrelated albinos, meaning like one strain of like red albinos to somebody else's red albinos, you may not get an albino baby in that first batch. If the albino gene for that particular strain is on a different gene, the albino color gene, you'll get black-eyed babies with that entire first drop. And that's, like I said, because the albino color gene on the male is different than the females. So guppies with black coloration, halfway to 3/4 of the way up their bodies, like these, are called half blacks, and the tail decides what color. So this would be half black. Really, I don't know what. They look purple, but evidently in Chicago's water they're blue. And I sent one as a half black blue last year, and that got DQ'd saying it was purple. So I don't know. But anyway, the dorsal should match the tail color. We have half black blues, half black reds, purples, half black yellows, and then there's something called half black AOCs. Any other color overseas are called half black leopards, which is these. I happen to have a trio of these on aquabid. I think actually it's a male and 3 females I have on there, along with some other auctions of black Moscows, galaxy guppies, and something else, red bluegrass metalheads. But the half black AOCs, or leopard as they're called outside the United States, are really beautiful fish. They're made by crossing a snakeskin to a half black. This was probably a half black yellow, since there's some yellow in the tail, and it's got some black spotting, which is kind of uniform on these, more or less, and the dorsal matches the tail, which is what you want. Really nice fish. And if you look at the saddle area of the head on the males, you can see like a little bright streak, and that's probably the snakeskin relationship coming through. Like on this one, you can kind of see it there. So the other thing that we have is, which aren't what these fish are. These are some more of my breeders of the platinum red mosaic big ears. That's a long fin female, regular fin male. There's a long fin male right there, and that's a short fin female. So I've digressed once again. The other type of guppies are the grass, glass, or mosaic tail guppy. Now, grass are a fine spotted pattern. As you breed them out, different generations, that can devolve into a larger varied spotting, and that's then called a mosaic. Like this has like a varied pattern in the tail, so it's called a red mosaic. The front part of the body is platinum, so it's platinum, and it's got the gigantic pec fins, which is making it be called a big ear. And they can be called mosaic or glass. Grass is going to have fine spotted pattern in the tail and dorsal. So metalhead refers to the male guppies that have the metalhead characteristic, which I think you can see on these right there, and that's like a mosaic pattern in the tail, and you can see the metalhead part right there on that male, and definitely interesting. So this one, this tank, I put a few females in. I had like 5 males in there and no females. And I made a mistake, and I forgot to kind of treat the tank when I first put them in. So I ended up losing all the males. They just happened to die. The females I put in are fine. And I'm just going to wait for a couple of the younger fish in this tank, like this one, to develop into a male, and then he'll be assigned the task of getting all the females pregnant. So it was my mistake. I didn't use what I normally do, which is the pond strength Melafix, salt, and quick cure. So I screwed up, which is why you got to pay attention. So this one, these are doing okay. I have another younger generation in there because I want these males to hit the younger ones as well. So it's just my idea is that perhaps to keep this line going, I'm going to need the older males to hit the older females and the younger ones. It's just something that's in my head. But anyway, the metalhead refers to the male guppy. It has a deep metallic color on its head, and pretty much also upper body. That metal color intensifies depending on the quality of the food you give the fish, the tank conditions, and probably the mood of the particular male. Because I notice with mine, later on at night after I've fed them, they get the metalhead characteristic pretty deeply, pretty dark. So a platinum is like these. There's like a platinum front section there of the body behind the pec fins. And the other thing I want to say, which I've said many times, is these are big ear or Dumbo males. And you can see the pec fins are very large. Obviously they're black. These are half black somethings, and they have black pec fins, but they're not big. They're not Dumbo ear. If you see somebody selling them half black yellows or purples or blues or anything, greens even, they're not Dumbo ear. They're regular half black, which are really almost 3/4 black, and they have black pectoral fins. So I think there was a couple other things to go over. And Moscows, which I have some of them in here. These are a breeding group of my black Moscows. You can see these females are a little bit different. They have real long dorsals. It may get an extra couple of points when they judge the fish, if I enter them in IFGA shows. I didn't send any of these, even though they're big enough, because sometimes my black Moscows look blue or green or whatever in different water. But the Moscows are a relatively new type of guppy. You know, like within the last 20 or so years. I believe they came from Russia. I'm not 100% sure on that. But their color genes are on... It's something different from regular fish. These could look almost gray if I were to ship them to somebody. And once they get used to the water they're in, they will adjust and get darker black. So they could look various colors. Black, blue, green, you name it. Very cool fish. There's also different types of tails. The ones I've been showing you, except for the platinum red mosaics, are delta tails, which is a large triangular shape, like these. And of course he's getting further away. That's a large triangular shaped tail, parallelogram type dorsal, and that would be called a delta type fish. There's probably about 20 different types of tails on guppies, maybe even more, not even including endlers. If you do like a Google search or any other search engine of guppy tails, you'll come up with diagrams. These are, if I can find any of them, these are a veil tail. So these were blue Moscows, but they look blue, yellow, green, you name it, in my water. So anyhow, so you could check the a search engine for different types of guppy tails. Not stories, just their tails, and see all the different varieties. So, like I said earlier, another new type of guppy is the big ear Dumbo type, and as I said, they're referring to the pec fins. So, they're probably not anything you could enter into an IFGA show. There is a class, like a wide tail class, but I don't think these get big enough. This is probably the largest one I have. It looks fantastic. But that tail's not going to compete in a wide color class, which is all colors. So that's kind of hopeless. But anyhow, so that's kind of a basic discussion on guppy types. I'm sure you've seen many, many others. And these are the full reds, red deltas. I have another tank of them growing out that I have to start culling and separating to keep breeders, and then I'm finally going to sell some. These are like a red mosaic snakeskin that I came up with, and I call it red mosaic because you can see the tail on the males, if I can get them on there, are red with different size spots. Some of the females have the same color, which is fantastic. I think that's one right there. I recently culled this down to just the two nicest males. Took out the rest. This one was especially nice. Really large dorsal and tail. And you really can't see the snakeskin pattern. There's too many plants up top. And it's another tank of the full reds. I was told by the friend of mine I got the line from, that Tony Anderson, that these are actually Luke Roebuck full reds, the complete line of them. So that's great to know. So I can cross these in with the other Roebuck reds that I have that don't look this fantastic. And these are pink pingus, which is a whole nother type of guppy altogether. A small bodied guppy with it's a metal head, and it's not a big ear, it just has dark color pec fins, and a bronzish colored tail and dorsal, and the females are very drab. So anyway, that video kind of covers different types of guppies, and also my miserable showing in the IFGA show. So once again, sorry I let everybody down. If you want me to switch to movie reviews and get off of guppies, let me know. And thanks for watching, and I appreciate all your comments and all you people that have subscribed. It's very kind of you, and like I said, hope I don't let you down. Alright, thank you.